candy red glass bowl. Actually on sale for Black Friday sale from AO.com, and instead of £500 it was £284. So bargain. My last one, I think I paid £450 for the last one, but it is completely used up and battered and it's been used to death, so it was time for a new one. The other one was falling apart a little bit and stuff, so yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take this out. So let's just turn it around so you can see. So it is the candy apple red with the glass batter bowl. I've wanted a glass bowl for so long and I've never ever seen one. Especially for the price that we got this for. But yeah, it's really good. So this is, that's what it looks like. So really chuffed with that, aren't we? Look how gorgeous that is, eh? We're going to just bake some cakes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Right now?
Right now.
When Leah comes down?
Yeah. Mummy's going to wash the bowl out and wash all the things, and then we're going to come back to them and we're going to do some baking. So this is the Flex, what's it called? Flex Edge Beater that I got to go with my KitchenAid, because I've had KitchenAid before. I know that the beater doesn't scrape the sides down properly. So I got another one of these. I had one of these on my last one. All the white's come off it now, but that's the one, and it's got like a flexible rubber edge, so it scrapes the side of the bowl much better. Also gets around the little thing in the centre of the centre of the bowl's got like a little bump in the middle, so it actually fits perfectly in there. So guys, this is my KitchenAid all set up. That's what it looks like. Gorgeous. Got a lovely like metallic red candy apple, and I love this bowl. The last one I had the stainless steel bowl on it, and yeah, it's very nice, but I love being able to see the mixer and what's going in the mixer and stuff like that, so that was really good. So there's my mixer beater already put in. We actually did all the dried fruit and everything for the cake a couple of days ago, and we've let that soak in with all the sherry that we put, and I've just put some fresh orange zest in as well, just to give it a little bit of a boost, because it had been in there a few days and obviously it had soaked up. I just wanted that fresh orange going back in, so I've just zested the orange into it. And now we're going to get all the other ingredients sorted out, so I'm just going to put this to the side. So we're going to get all the butter and sugar and eggs and treacle and stuff like that all in the bowl now. So I'm going to start with the butter. Butter, we need 250 grams. Well, that's easy because it's a whole block. Probably going to just chop it up just to make sure it mixes evenly rather than putting in one big clump. So I'm just going to chop it up. I've let it soften a little bit too, like I usually do when I'm baking. So yeah, so I'm going to tip all that in. That's 250 grams of butter. And we need sugar. How much sugar do we need? 250 grams of sugar. It's actually the light brown sugar that I'm using. I'll just put the scale on so we can get that done. Scissors. $250 grams. This is actually a Mary Berry recipe. It's Mary Berry's Victorian Christmas cake recipe. I've done this recipe for the last 4 or 5 years, and it always comes out really nice. It's really fruity, and you can either use it with alcohol or without. Sometimes I've used fresh orange juice instead of sherry. I do quite like sherry because it is quite fruity. It's not a really alcoholic punch to it, so I quite like the sherry. So that's the butter, the sugar, eggs. We need, how many eggs do we need? 4 eggs. I'm just going to crack the eggs into a jug, just in case I do get any shell in. I can easily pick it out. So that's 1 egg. 2, 3, and 4. That's 4 free-range eggs, medium-sized free-range eggs, into the bowl. Treacle and almonds. Now the almonds, I actually bought whole blanched almonds and I've just whizzed them up in my food processor, so I'm just going to tip these in. They're already pre-weighed, 75 grams, so that goes in like that. Just give it a quick dust around, just because it's obviously been hand blitzed rather than buying chopped nuts. So we need 1 tablespoon of treacle. Now I've got the Lyle's black treacle. Prise the lid up all the way around so you don't dent the lid and it can seal back up better. But treacle is notoriously hard to reseal. It's also notoriously hard to get out, get off your spoon, etc. It always smells delicious, but it's a horrible thing to work with. So I'm just going to spoon around a tablespoon. It'll probably definitely be over. But I'd rather go a little bit over than a little bit under and have it dry. So I'm going to start it on slow. I'm just going to sieve the dry ingredients, the plain flour, the self-raising flour and the mixed spice into here and sieve that through. And I'm just going to lift this up and we're actually going to tip in the flour mixture. Probably going to do it bit by bit because it does kind of poof up a little bit. And we just want to add it slowly. You don't want to spill too much. Right, and I'm just going to scrape down all the edges. So we're just going to scrape down all the edges just to make sure we've got everything from the sides. And now we're actually going to put in the fruit. My wooden spoon. And we're going to tip in the fruit and stir it through. So we're just going to stir it through, incorporate it with the cake mix. It's quite a stiff batter, so don't worry too much. I probably will just give it a little whiz in the mixer once I've got most of it incorporated, just to make sure I've got it all mixed in. So I've just got this baking tin, it's a square tin. I've just greased it with the wrapping from the butter. And now I'm just going to line it with some grease-proof baking paper. So I've just lined that, as you can see. What I normally do is I normally cook it, because it's a 4-hour bake on this one. Probably checked after every 2 hours. After 2 hours, we check it every half an hour or so. But because it is such a big, heavy cake, it can take a good few hours, up to 4 hours really. So we check it quite often, every 30 minutes or so, just to see how it's getting on. Push it quite hard into the corners. I've done it in this bigger tin because my small I've got an 8-inch tin and it's meant to be done in a 9-inch tin. I think this is a 9-inch square if I remember rightly. It might even be a 10-inch actually, so it might be a little bit shallow, but I'd rather have it shallow and get it cooked properly rather than have it too deep and not be able to cook it, because like I say, it is a dense cake and it does take a good long time to cook. So I'm just going to get all this in now. So we've just tipped the cake, we've flattened it down so it's nice and flat in the tin. As you can see, I'll just lift you up. So it's nice and flat in the tin. It's all square, it's all lined. It's within the paper, so it should be fine. It doesn't rise much. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead now and put this in the oven at, let me see the temperature. We're going to put it in the oven at 140 degrees centigrade, 120 fan or gas mark 1. It goes on a low heat. After 2 hours, we check it after 2 hours and we see if it's the right colour on the top. If it is, we cover the foil over the top just to stop the top going any darker, and then we check it every 30 minutes then with a skewer just to see if it's cooked, and it should take around up to 4 hours. So we will have a see how long it takes and I will let you know. I'm going to go pop this in the oven now. So guys, just got the cake out of the oven now. Just going to take the foil off, put it on my nice cake rack here, and I'll just show you what it looks like when it's come out of the oven. It's had 4 hours, and that's what it looks like. I covered it after 2 hours to stop any burn on the top, and the cake pick is coming out clean, so it's well done, finished. And then I'm going to actually marzipan and ice it tomorrow, so I'm going to let it cool for tonight. And I've just bought the ready to roll marzipan and white icing from Aldi. So I just got those two to do the toppings tomorrow once it's cooled. I've got some apricot jam as well from Aldi, so I've got this one. So I'm going to top the cake with the apricot jam, then I'm going to marzipan it with the white marzipan, and then ice with the icing, and then I'll show you the finished product when I've done all the toppings tomorrow. So I'll see you again in the morning. So guys, this is my finished Christmas cake. I have just marzipaned it on just a plain silver board. Marzipan and icing ready to roll like I showed you from Aldi, and these decorations I've had for a few years now. Just a little Merry Christmas sign, little Santa, elves pulling on a rope, and a little Santa and Rudolph. So that is my cake. It's not professionally done, I'm not a professional cake decorator, but it is done enough for us to have our Christmas cake. So thanks for watching. Please give us a big thumbs up if you think this cake is okay, and don't forget to subscribe and smash the bell button to be notified. Thanks for watching another day of Vlogmas, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.